जापान के प्रधानमंत्री की यात्रा के बारे में जानकारी दी जाए।
Thank you, Randir. Good evening. Thank you all for joining this press briefing on the ongoing official visit of Prime Minister of Japan, Her Excellency Ms. Sanae Takaichi. You are aware that the Prime Minister arrived in New Delhi yesterday evening on an official visit at the invitation of the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. This is Prime Minister Takaichi's first ever official visit to India. But the two Prime Ministers have met twice earlier. They were together at the G7 summit in Evian-les-Bains in France just last month, just a couple of weeks ago, in fact. And before that, in November 2025, last year, they met on the sidelines of the G20 summit in South Africa in Johannesburg. Prime Minister Takaichi is accompanied by a high-level official delegation and, more importantly, with a very high-powered and very large business delegation, which underscores the importance of the B2B pillar in our relationship. Let me begin by giving you a brief overview of the engagements that have taken place thus far. Early this morning, Prime Minister Takaichi was accorded a ceremonial welcome at the forecourt of Rashtrapati Bhavan. Thereafter, the two Prime Ministers held discussions both in the restricted and in the delegation level talks format at Hyderabad House. And during these talks, the leaders reflected on the very strong foundation of our bilateral ties across multiple sectors, including trade and investment, economic security, defense, supply chain resilience, technology, innovation, and people-to-people exchanges. And both leaders acknowledged the role that our special strategic and global partnership plays insofar as peace, prosperity, and stability in the Indo-Pacific and even beyond is concerned. In fact, at the outset of the discussions, it was recalled what late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe had said, that a strong Japan and a strong India were in each other's interest, and in fact, in the regional and global interest. And I think both leaders recognize that this is a relationship of exceptional trust. Some of you might recall that Prime Minister Modi had said while addressing the G7 leaders just recently that trust is the new currency of global partnerships. And that currency of trust, I would say, was visible in abundance in the engagements today. And it is that that allows the two sides to work with each other with a great deal of comfort. Today's engagements have yielded several substantial outcomes, broadly falling under three crucial areas, and I'll take you through them very briefly. These areas are economic security, energy resilience, and technology and innovation. First, on economic security, I think you would all note that in the current geopolitical climate, our two countries cannot but recognize and reaffirm economic security as one of the foundational pillars of our relationship. Also in recognition of the fact that economic security interests are increasingly more and more intertwined with overall national security interests. And during the discussions, it became clear that both leaders were on the same page when it came to recognizing the overlapping nature of the supply chain challenges that they faced, and hence the need for making common cause and developing reliable and unstressed supply chains. The economic security declaration that was agreed, and which You may already have seen, it should be on the MEA website in a short while if you haven't seen it. The declaration gives practical guidance to further strengthen project-based economic security cooperation. We have also issued the Economic Security Fact Sheet 2.0, which is an illustrative list of ongoing government and business engagements in this area. It is significant that many of the outcomes that were finalized during the course of this summit fall in the area of economic security, whether it's the Memorandum of Cooperation in the field of batteries or pharmaceuticals, including APIs and KSMs, or technical collaboration for resource exploration and mapping of critical minerals. The second major area of discussions today was energy resilience. We have also issued a joint statement on energy resilience, affirming that as responsible powers and major energy consuming countries, we will work together to jointly strengthen our respective energy resilience. And we've agreed to cooperate on strategic stockpiling and reserve mechanisms for crude oil and petroleum products, as well as exploring joint investments in maritime energy transport value chains. We have also announced today the Japan-India Cooperative Biogas for Growth initiative. Under this, Japan will partner with India in setting up 1,000 biogas plants all across India by leveraging the vast network of dairy cooperatives that already exists in India. These plants will produce bio-CNG and organic fertilizer using the abundant untapped resources of rural biomass and thereby contribute both to energy resilience as well as rural prosperity. The third major focus of discussions today was advanced technology and innovation. Building on the India-Japan AI cooperation initiative, the leaders today released a joint statement on cooperation in the field of artificial intelligence. And the statement, as you will see, reaffirms the convergence between the vision of the two countries on the future of AI, which is a vision that is centered on safe, secure, and trustworthy AI that contributes to security and prosperity for all. It includes cooperation across the entire AI stack, from the necessary physical infrastructure to developing AI applications for public good. Japan has also reaffirmed its endorsement of the key outcomes of the India AI Impact Summit, which we hosted here in New Delhi earlier this year in February. I would say that artificial intelligence is emerging as a major sunrise sector in the cooperation between the two countries. There is a joint statement as well that's been released on the occasion of the visit, which should also be available very soon. The strategic convergence that is reflected in the joint statement is backed by very robust institutional linkages that have been finalized today. We've seen crucial agreements. In fact, if I speak specifically about the AI initiative and the understandings with regard to AI between India and Japan, we've seen some very crucial agreements on the development of large language models. IIT Bombay's Bharat Gen, for instance, and Japan's National Institute of Informatics have signed an MoU focusing on multilingual scientific LLMs and enhanced scientific reasoning. Similarly, India's Sarvam AI and Japan's Preferred Networks have established a framework for cooperation across the full AI technology stack, including foundational models. Finally, looking ahead to 2027, which marks the 75th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties between our two countries. The two sides have agreed to a list of commemorative outcomes and events with a strong focus on youth to celebrate this milestone in a befitting manner. We will celebrate the year 2027 as the India-Japan Year of Shared Horizons. Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has also invited Prime Minister Modi to visit Japan next year for the annual summit, and this annual summit will come in the midst of these celebrations. Earlier today, in fact, just a short while ago, following the bilateral talks, both leaders participated in the India-Japan Joint Economic Forum. Economic cooperation, as I said earlier, lies at the heart of our bilateral relations. You might recall that at the 15th annual summit held in Tokyo last year, the leaders had announced a target of 10 trillion yen in private investment. I will just take a moment to very briefly outline the significant progress that has been made towards that target in just the last few months. More than 120 B2B MoUs have been signed since the last summit in August 2025. And with these MoUs, in fact, reflect an aggregate investment commitment of around 10 billion US dollars. I don't know if any of you were at the forum, but this is an overview of the 120 MoUs and the investments that it covers. But I believe a detailed list of these MoUs has been shared with you as well. Just to take a few examples, MUFG Bank recently undertook the largest ever cross-border investment in India's financial sector with a 40,000 crore rupee stake in Shriram Finance. Sumitomo Chemical and Tata Electronics are collaborating on the local manufacturing of semiconductor materials, building on the already existing partnership between Tokyo Electron and Tata Electronics. IHI Corporation and Acme Group have agreed to jointly produce 400,000 tons of green ammonia annually in Odisha. As I said, I think the full list of these MoUs has been made available. And what is remarkable is the sheer range of engagements from manufacturing to financial services to advanced technologies, even film production. This wide range of substantive outcomes perfectly captures the diversity and the dynamism in this relationship. So taken together, the exceptional breadth and depth of these government and business outcomes underscores what is already an extremely successful visit by Prime Minister Takaichi to India. It reaffirms that the India-Japan Special Strategic and Global Partnership is not only an anchor for peace, stability, and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific, but also a dynamic engine for global economic growth and technological innovation. I think there was great clarity today during the discussions that the deep complementarity between Indian and Japanese factors of production can lead to win-win outcomes, and both sides can cooperate to really good effect. I just want to add here in the context of something the Prime Minister said at the Joint Economic Forum, which is that he was talking about the reforms that India has carried out successively in the last several years, aimed at improving the ease of doing business. And in that context, the Prime Minister's office here in New Delhi will organize an India week, a Japan week, excuse me, exclusively for Japanese companies to address the issues that Japanese companies might be facing. And this is yet another example of our commitment to making the business-to-business relationship a really important part of the overall ties between the two countries. Insofar as the rest of the program for the visit is concerned, later tonight, the Prime Minister will host Prime Minister Takaichi for a private dinner at his residence, following which tomorrow morning Prime Minister Takaichi will depart for Tokyo. So let me stop there, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer them.
So the floor is open. We start with Rishabh there.
Foreign Secretary, good evening. This is Rishabh from NDTV. So when we are talking about economic security, talks between the two sides, apart from the broader understanding, are we also looking at diversifying our critical minerals and rare earth minerals as important texts like semiconductors? Dependence on one country has become a problem now. So what are the steps that we are taking there?
Siddhant.
Hi, sir. Siddhant from Vion. Sir, there was an announcement on defense aspect as well. Where do Japan and India look towards defense cooperation at a time when Japan is looking for export of defense technology and it is shedding the inhibitions of the past?
Huma.
So I'm Huma Siddiqui here. I have two questions. Was the SEPA upgrade discussed? And my second question is, you didn't mention the space cooperation, even though Japan and India are working together on 2 or 3 space missions, if there is something that you can share.
Krishna Mohan.
सर कृष्ण मोहन शर्मा भारत एक्सप्रेस से रेयर अर्थ क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स के क्षेत्र में दोनों कंट्रीज ने काफ़ी आगे जाने की बात की है. जरा इसके बारे में हमें डिटेल से बताएं कि ये कितना का पूरा एग्रीमेंट होगा और कब तक इसका क्या प्रॉस्पेक्ट है आगे.
मधु.
सर मधुरेंद्र मैं न्यूज़ नेशन से. इंडो पैसिफिक का बार बार जिक्र जो है वो किया गया, खासतौर पे स्टेटमेंट में पीएम मोदी ने भी किया, फ्री एंड फेयर इंडो पैसिफिक एंड रूल बेस्ड ऑर्डर का. हाल ही में हमने देखा था कि इंडो पैसिफिक से इंडो जो टर्म है उसको यूएस ने हटा दिया था, पैसिफिक कमांड कर दिया था. क्या इस पर दोनों ही राष्ट्राध्यक्षों की कोई बातचीत हुई? और मेरा दूसरा सवाल है कि कोई इंडियन डिफेंस प्लेटफॉर्म जिस पर जापान ने इंटरेस्ट दिखाया हो उसके बारे में अगर बताएं.
So we can take these questions.
So, Rishabh, your question on diversifying sources for critical minerals, rare earths, etc. As I said, there was considerable discussion on these issues. I think the leaders agreed that given the phase that we are going through right now insofar as geoeconomics and geopolitics is concerned, and especially as seeing how over the last 5 or 6 years supply chains in a whole host of areas have come under stress. But the ones related to critical minerals and rare earths are of particular concern because these are essentially materials that today go into components and products that are critical for everyday life. It's not just their use in specialized platforms, but they go into the phone that you hold in your hand, they go into the vehicle you drive. So they concern an enormously broad range of products and their supply chains. And it was agreed that, as you also mentioned in your question, that we had to move away from this dependence on a single or even very few sources, and that there was a need to develop both strategic autonomy as well as strategic resilience insofar as these topics are concerned. So this is insofar as specific agreements, etc., are concerned, these are obviously subjects that lie within the domain of private sector actors in both countries. The governments have certainly sort of spelt out a framework for cooperation and encouraged cooperation in these areas. There is ongoing cooperation in, for instance, Japanese companies looking to set up rare earth permanent magnet facilities in India. I know of a couple of companies that are currently looking at this, and there is work going on at the research end as well on this. So we look forward in the coming months for this to develop as a major sector of cooperation between the two countries, driven largely, of course, by private sector to private sector cooperation. सिद्धांत, your question on defense and इसमें मधुरेंद्र आपने भी जो प्रश्न पूछा डिफेंस प्लेटफॉर्म्स के बारे में, तो so first of all, what I would say is that we obviously welcome the evolution of Japanese postures insofar as defense exports is concerned. There has been a considerable and, from our perspective, positive evolution on this issue. And today there was discussion between the two leaders on defense-related issues as well. And there was agreement that we could look at cooperation in multiple areas. In fact, Prime Minister Modi suggested that this cooperation could span the entire spectrum from designing to production, manufacturing. Insofar as specific platforms are concerned, you would have noticed the leaders marking the progress on the major project that is underway right now between the two countries, which is the Unicorn project, which is a naval radio antenna related project. In addition, there was a reference to cooperation across land, air, naval systems, unmanned vehicles, and systems of various kinds. There was a recognition of the increasing tempo of exercises that are being conducted by the forces of the two countries. We've, of course, conducted naval exercises for a long period of time, but increasingly now, and in some cases for the first time ever, there are land exercises and so army exercises and air force exercises as well that are being conducted. And Prime Minister Takaichi made specific mention of the need to bolster institutional cooperation in this area, and in that context, the 2+2 mechanism, which brings the foreign and defense ministers of the two countries together on the same platform, that was referenced by her. And we look forward to the next meeting of that platform in Tokyo at a mutually convenient date. So this is clearly a growing area of cooperation between the two countries. मैं मधुरेंद्र, ये तो डिफेंस के बारे में था, लेकिन आपने शायद इंडो पैसिफिक के बारे में भी सवाल किया था. तो इंडो पैसिफिक को लेके विस्तार से चर्चा हुई दोनों लीडर्स के बीच में, और मैं ये कहूँगा कि बातचीत की शुरुआत में ही दोनों लीडर्स का ध्यान जो स्वाभाविक भी है एक तरह से दिवंगत प्रधानमंत्री आबे के उन्होंने जो किया इसको लेके और जो कहा इसको लेके उस पे गया. दोनों ने उसके बारे में बात की, उसके बारे में चर्चा की. प्रधानमंत्री तकाइची ने आबे-सान की जो यहाँ पे 2007 में यात्रा हुई थी और उनका एक बहुत ही मशहूर भाषण जो उन्होंने भारत में यहाँ पार्लियामेंट में संसद में दिया था, कॉन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ द टू ओशंस, जहाँ पे इंडो पैसिफिक के कॉन्सेप्ट को उन्होंने एक तरह से उसका एक चित्र खींचा. तो इसके चलते फिर प्रधानमंत्री तकाइची ने जो हमारा एक फ्री ओपन इंक्लूसिव इंडो पैसिफिक का कॉन्सेप्ट है, उन्होंने जो इसे एक नया रूप देने की पहल की है, अपडेटेड फॉइप जिसे वो कहती हैं, जिसका माने ये है कि जो बाकी चीज़ें इंडो पैसिफिक के देश कर रहे हैं, जिनमें क्वाड के देश भी शामिल हैं, उनमें और अधिक ऑटोनॉमी, स्वायत्तता कैसे आए, उनमें और अधिक रेजिलियंस कैसे बढ़ाई जाए, और जो बाकी सब चीज़ें हम बायलैटरली कर रहे हैं वो उसी से जाके जुड़ती हैं। प्रधानमंत्री तकाइची ने ये भी कहा कि जो फॉइप का कॉन्सेप्ट है, फ्री एंड ओपन इंडो पैसिफिक का कॉन्सेप्ट है, वो सीधा जाके भारत के महासागर विजन से जुड़ता है। तो इसके चलते काफ़ी आपसी सहयोग की संभावनाएं बढ़ती हैं। दोनों लीडर्स ने ये माना कि इस चीज़ पे जो हमारा अभी तक का सहयोग है वो अच्छा रहा है, इसे और आगे हमें बढ़ाना चाहिए। इनफैक्ट जो अगली आपको ध्यान होगा कि क्वाड के अंतर्गत एक इंडो पैसिफिक लॉजिस्टिक्स नेटवर्क स्थापित किया गया है, और उसकी अलग अलग मीटिंग्स होती रहती हैं। तो उसकी जो अगली टेबल टॉप एक्सरसाइज है वो जापान उसको होस्ट करेगा। तो मैं कहूँगा कि दोनों लीडर्स में आज ये एक कंसेंसस देखने को मिला कि क्वाड को लेके वो इसमें सहयोग बढ़ाने का काम आगे जारी रखेंगे। Huma, your questions on the SEPA upgrade. Yes, it was discussed. I can confirm that the Prime Minister referred to the fact that the bilateral trade between India and Japan, which is somewhere in the range of $27 billion, does not really do justice to two of the largest economies in the world. And as you are aware, there is a comprehensive economic partnership agreement between the two countries, but it is somewhat dated now, especially in the context of, or rather I should say, the new context of the new trade arrangements that are now being struck across the world. And we have, in fact, made this proposal to our Japanese colleagues in recent times now that it may be time to look at a significant upgrade of the SEPA and review its provisions. And I can report to you that Prime Minister Takaichi confirmed during the discussions that Japan was prepared to look at the SEPA upgrade, and that officials from both countries should get together to take the next steps on this. So that's something that is very welcome. Yes, yeah. So I mean, there wasn't detailed discussion on space related issues, but you're right. This is a very important area of cooperation between the two countries, and the Japanese Space Agency is very interested in our launch vehicle setup that is run by ISRO, and in fact it is using it for the launch of some satellites. They would like to use it. I think we have this program called LUPEX, no, the LUPEX, which is there. So it's an ongoing area of cooperation and an important one. कृष्णा, आपका प्रश्न मैंने जवाब दे दिया है जो रेयर अर्थ और क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स को लेके है.
So, Srinjoy.
So, as the two navies and the defense ministries have already discussed this, did the issue of building the Mogami class warships, which is this huge project, possibly making them here in Mumbai, did it come up in the meeting?
Gautam?
Thank you. Foreign Secretary, this is Gautam Lahiri, independent journalist. My question is 2 years ago, I think 2-3 years ago, the Japan Prime Minister has announced, Libyan Prime Minister announced a policy of free open Indo-Pacific. Whether this issue was discussed, because this, apart from many things, it encompasses the connectivity of Northeast India through India and Bangladesh to the Southeast Asia and beyond. Whether this policy still exists, whether you have any discussion on this issue. Thank you.
Archis?
Sir, were there any discussions on establishing a mechanism on local currency settlement? And secondly, I believe the initial plan was to host the summit in Guwahati, which couldn't take place because of logistical issues. But could you give us a broad outline of, the importance of the northeastern region, India's northeastern region, in India-Japan relations?
Neeraj?
सर, नीरज न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया से। जापान के पीएम ने अपने दौरे पर आने से पहले ही इंडो पैसिफिक पे बहुत जोर दिया था अपने बयानों में, लेखों में। मेरा सवाल यह है कि जापान बहुत सक्रिय दिख रहा है क्वाड को लेकर, और अमेरिका की बेरुखी भी दिख रही है, खासकर राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप की। अभी हाल में विदेश मंत्रियों का सम्मेलन हुआ था, तो क्या आने वाले वक्त में जो लीडर्स सम्मेलन है, जो बहुत दिन से प्रस्तावित है, क्या उससे लेकर दोनों नेताओं में कोई बातचीत हुई है? दूसरा सवाल यह है कि क्या लोकल करेंसी में ट्रेड को सेटल करने का कोई प्रस्ताव है दोनों देशों के बीच में?
आकांक्षा? ओके। सर्जना?
नमस्कार सर, मैं सर्जना सनमार्ग से हूँ। सर, क्वाड की जो मीटिंग होनी थी वो यूएस की ट्रेड पॉलिसीज के कारण काफ़ी डिले होती जा रही है। अब क्वाड का क्या फ्यूचर है, क्या उस पर आज कोई डिस्कशन हुआ?
Abhimanyu?
Sir, I'm Abhimanyu Sharma from CNBC TV 18. Sir, were there any discussions on the issue of labor mobility, on expediting that between both the countries?
So we can take these questions.
Srinjoy, your question on specifically on building Mogami class frigates. Now, I know that this subject has been in the news, largely because we have been having some discussions with our Japanese counterparts on the general subject of shipbuilding. Japan is a major shipbuilding nation, and as you are aware, shipbuilding has emerged in the last several years as a major priority, especially in the infrastructure area in India. So it's natural for us to have discussions with the Japanese on this issue. Today, just to be specific in response to your question, there was no discussion on the Mogami class frigates as such. But as I mentioned, both leaders did allude to the possibility of cooperating on a whole host of air, land, and naval systems. And the designated agencies on the two sides are in touch on these issues. I'm sure that at the appropriate point in time, specific issues, including the one that you are referring to, may well come onto the table and be discussed between the two sides. Gautam, on your question related to free and open Indo-Pacific, but I've answered that in some detail, but you have included this question about the significance of Northeast India in Japanese policy, and I think that's also part of Archis's question on the importance of the Northeast region. And you're right. There was some consideration earlier that we might look in the light of the importance of the development of the Northeast region as a matter of national policy, and the fact that we've had good cooperation between Japanese agencies, including JICA, for instance, in various projects in the Northeast, that we could look at hosting the summit there. But eventually, because of time constraints, etc., you're aware that there is an ongoing parliament session in Japan. So the Prime Minister arrived only late yesterday and is leaving early morning tomorrow. So given the short time available and off-site or out of capital summit would probably have been slightly more difficult. But nonetheless, the issue of the Northeast is well recognized, and we have seen a number of Japanese projects that look at the Northeast as a base. And today as well, yeah, there have been there's a large number of visits also by Japanese dignitaries who have been visiting India, who've visited the Northeast specifically as well. And there are think tank exchanges focusing on the Northeast that have taken place recently as well. So today as well, Prime Minister Takaichi did refer to the continuing interest of Japan in that. So that's something that we will continue to take forward. You are aware that one of the projects in the semiconductors area, for instance, is being developed with Japanese assistance in Assam itself. So that is a continuing issue on the agenda. A number of you have asked about local currency settlement in there. So, I mean, today there wasn't detailed discussion on settlement of trade in local currencies, but both of us do recognize the importance of enhancing our bilateral financial cooperation and collaboration on payment systems between India and Japan, including the issue of local currency transactions. So these are issues that will be taken forward between the financial authorities of the two countries as we move ahead. Let me deal with this question that Abhimanyu asked about labor mobility. You are aware that there is an MoU between India and Japan on human resource exchange. And that was something that was announced during the last summit, the 15th summit that was held in Tokyo. And under that, there are a number of programs that are being taken forward and executed. Today also, there was a considerable amount of discussion and reference to the importance of exchange of talent between the two countries. And Prime Minister Modi referred to it in his remarks, as also in his remarks at the Joint Economic Forum. This is an area where we feel, once again, there is a great deal of complementarity between the two countries, between the two economies. I think Japanese business and other sectors have a need for skills and talent in certain sectors that India, with its demographic advantages, is in a very good position to fulfill at this point in time. So these are things that will be taken forward under the human resource exchange program that the two countries have agreed on. Finally, there are a number of questions. A number of you have raised this question about the Indo-Pacific, the Quad, the summit, etc. I mean, these are not really the central point of this particular bilateral summit, but as I have said, that the importance of the Quad, the importance of cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, and the importance of remaining engaged on these issues was reaffirmed by both leaders during their discussions today. And insofar as specific engagements are concerned with regard to, I mean, you referred to the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting, which has taken place just recently in India. And I mean, I would say you should stay tuned because there will be more activities and events related to Quad that will happen in the coming months.